Guys, a big welcome to our second session of Wellspirit's AI Learning Lab. I'm really excited about this session today. We have Gau Kurman, who is the CEO from Superhuman AI, coming to share with us and take us through the AI tools and workflows that she uses to manage operations at home and at work and the mental load. So it will be a lot of demoing, a lot of new AI tools that you've never seen before, but will be really inspiring for you to go, wow, I want to adapt that, take that back and roll that out in my own life or learn a little bit more. So it will be really insightful. And Gal will also be working with us later on in the session to build our own daily productivity planner. So that's really exciting. What I would now like to do is actually introduce Gal in a little bit more detail. Now, given that we're in an AI live learning lab, I used an agent that is scraping the internet and LinkedIn profiles and summarizing me presenter introductions. So I haven't actually sense checked this. So Gal, you're on the spot. And if there's anything incorrect about this paragraph, you can shout out because I can feed that back into my agent to make it better. But the purpose of the agent was to save me time and give me some presenter introductions for the upcoming session. So Gau Kurman serves as CMO at Superhuman AI. It's an NZ-based company specializing in customized AI language models and co-pilots, and she's been in that role since December 2023. She's got a decade of experience combining marketing with emergent AI tech. Her professional background includes leadership roles as head of marketing at Ambit, communications manager at Altered State Machine, and she's also been a co-founder. Her expertise spans digital marketing strategy, AI-driven business innovation with a focus on using AI to automate tedious tasks, as we'll see today, and enable teams to focus on strategic work and creativity. Notable achievements include driving substantial brand awareness growth for Superhuman AI across Australia and New Zealand, co-founding one of the region's progressive AI startups and serving as a keynote speaker at major industry events, including the 2025 New Zealand Printing and Packaging Forum, where she presented on AI freeing smart people from tedious work. She holds a master's degree in international relations from Sorbonne University and a business strategy certificate from Harvard Business School online. So that's my agent's take on Gal's background. So do you want to give it a score from 0 to 10?
What a
Accuracy?
what an amazing. I feel like a little bit more empowered. I think that sometimes, it's not about the titles and the things that we've achieved, but I feel so like privileged to be here today and a little bit overexcited. So I don't know, I woke up this morning feeling so great that we have this upcoming session. So I've been counting my times. I was like, when it's happening, and it's finally happening. So kia ora koutou. Welcome everyone. I'm so excited and thrilled to be on the session and support this amazing project. When I met Philippa, the first thing I said is, finally, somebody's talking about mums and how busy we are and how it's so important, and we should be the ones staying on front of innovation and leverages those technologies to save every minute, every time for our little ones. So I myself am mama three. My youngest is 1.5 years old, and I'm the one fighting for any spare minute and seeing her growth because I haven't had this chance. And my pretty much first two other ones who I haven't seen much at this age. So I'm cherishing those moments, and I'm really look forward to share all of these beautiful insights and everything that I know. If you ever feel overwhelmed, it's probably a good thing because the AI topic is overwhelming. It should be this way because Philippa made me a great challenge to pack everything and all the knowledge within 1 hour. So it's a huge challenge for me to talk about how we can save the time. But my topic is all about freeing moms from tedious work. I don't believe, and none of us believe, that AI is here to overcomplicate the work that we do. It should be freeing our time, freeing moms from any sorts of like tedious work, including our personal life, including our scheduling, including our meetings, including all of the other bits, even the homework. So the housework and all the chores that we're doing on a week to week and day-to-day basis. So I just wanted to share a bit of like a story. Um, I guess my breaking point. I've spent all my years chasing the idea to be Wonder Woman. So
Mm.
doing everything
Yeah,
myself,
well done.
had some difficulties
Just
delegating,
trying to studying computer. You
thinking
should.
about the fact how good I would be at certain things, thinking about what people will think about me. And I had this because I'm an older, I got my siblings and I'm the older one. And I was thinking about it. I'm the most responsible in a family. And that's kind of a good thing and bad thing. Because good thing is like you always know you're responsible for it and you're always there for someone. You're always there to uplift someone and provide this help and support that they need. But from the other hand, it adds this layer of additional stress to yourself. And I was thinking I could do it all by myself. And I got to the point where one night I was sitting, and if you've ever been or ever faced the startup reality, you probably would understand. It's the fact that you work so many damn hours to get your brand somewhere. And within the reality where everyone else is working for 40 hours in a full-time roles, with startup realities like near from 60 to 80 hours a week. And I felt exhausted. I really felt this bottom where I couldn't do it all by myself. Like I've realized no one's helping me. No, I don't have any cleaners. No one's coming to help me with my busy kind of like routine. No one's picking up the kids from school. So I obviously have a husband. He's helping a lot. But then there's some other bits that just on our mom's head, and we can't really get out and delegate this to someone. And I've realized the fascinating power of technology. And it got me thinking that I would leverage it, every damn tool out there, in order for me to save this time. And I was desperately looking for the solution. So at the time, ChatGPT just came out, November 2022, and it changed everything for us. And since then, I've started leveraging those technologies just to kind of like summarize, group, just get my head around the AI, different tools, played with tons of them, tested a lot. We obviously, last 5 years I spent in tech, so I fully understand the kind of like the concept and the of the product building and how to get to the market. And it got me thinking that AI tools and the system, the ecosystem that you build through AI, it's your own way. So there is no blueprint. There is no kind of like specific, academy that will teach you how to use this specific things for your own life. I think we have such a luxury, like a privilege to pick and choose the tools that it's available there. And I'm gonna be unpacking some of those. But I wanted to share this story because I feel like it's been quite resonating with quite a few, where you feel like you don't have this time anymore. You just can't keep up, and it either leads to the depression, which I had at the time, which I wouldn't recommend going this path. I had no one to talk to about. At the time, I kind of refused all the therapy and all of these, friends chats. I've just decided to go by my own and just take a silence for a couple of months. And yeah, it's just this kind of, imagine like a browser and your brain that has all of these crazy tabs open with all the schedules and deadlines and the invoices that you have to pay, and all the creative ideas flowing. As a creative person, I fully fully get that sometimes you got the idea, and when I've been running my marketing agency is like, oh, I got this idea in the middle of the night and you couldn't fall asleep. So, and we are all wearing different hats. Being a mums, being a potentially like a business owners in the future, friends. We also dreaming about our upcoming vacation with our kids, but it's just a matter of like, you know, juggling this all. And I found the one word that fully kind of resonated with me at the time. And this word is multi-potentialite. It's someone who basically refused the fact that they should be solely focusing on one thing and only one thing. And for me, it's kind of resonated because I've realized I've got some other interests. I'm passionate about technology. I'm passionate about marketing. I do understand some of the psychologies, and I'm really enjoy being in a women's company and work on my spiritual journey as well. So kind of all of these areas, and I've realized like multi-potential. It's someone who is very much curious about some other things. And I truly believe that's my bold statement that women can have it all. It's the matter of the trade-offs. It's just probably would ask yourself like what are the trade-offs that I could potentially get to myself. For me personally, I'll share mine if you're interested. Like mine is I probably wouldn't go to school. Sorry to my kids, but I probably wouldn't go to school and decorate some of their Halloween decorations or just do some kind of like a volunteering work, as I just don't have a time for it. I'm a working mom and I've chosen to be a working mom, and I've realized that I probably that's my trade-off. It's okay for me, and I'm accepting the fact that I'm not going to school to help out, but I'm there if they have a performance, or I'm there if they are winning the award, and I just go in and cheer as a cheerleader, support them there. So finding those trade-offs are really key, and you probably could resonate when it comes to the trade-offs and asking yourself what's kind of the main trade-offs that I could possibly have within my life, with my family, and go from there. And it's actually easier this way because when you think of the idea like I should have all of it and I should be perfect, and I should be a great mom. This mom's guilt, also a big thing, isn't it? So this is just a representation of the current reality that all of us could resonate with. Like we have to cook. We don't have cooks living with us, unfortunately. We have to clean up our house. We have to think of all of this. And my daughter, she's 12 at the moment, and we're kind of getting through this stage of like teenage age and a lot of talks and a lot of drama happening. But the school lunch boxes also always like worries me and brings me some of this, additional stress in the morning where I have to pack this all quickly, and all of us could resonate with it because yeah, that's pretty much us on a day-to-day basis. Plus we have to work, build our personal brand apparently. Everyone says we should be growing our LinkedIn and posting there 3 times a week. Everyone say we have to go and study AI. So it's a lot of things. So, and if you know a little bit about me, you probably get the sense of like what I want to keep this session very interactive. So please feel free to interrupt me at any time if you feel like I'm guilty on this. So sometimes use marketing jargons or some like a tech kind of jargon. So feel free to send your questions or pop them in the chat or just unmute yourself and we can have this conversation. So what I'm saying, all of the like why we should be caring is that we want to have a good balance between our personal well-being, our mental health, our work, and the business that we run, and then everything else at work, at home, sorry. It's just managing these grocery shopping lists or organizing these play dates or just making sure all the guests who's coming to visit us are all well fed and we have some menu ready to go. It's a big thing for me because I'm always have guests at home, like at least once a month. And I just wanted to share a couple of like studies which I found really, really interesting. As Deloitte, they've published a study that say that a woman within the generative AI, we have this adoption gap. In the last year, this adoption gap been massive, but this year, women are picking up the speed, and we're actually getting better and better to understand AI a little bit more than men. So in some of the cases, yeah, women here, when it comes to the travel chatbots, men started using it first, and then women picked it up. But I'm sure this year, yeah, that's the link to the study. It sounds like it's quite a long read, but I've picked one slide in particular here. So I would say, yeah, you can have a go and have a read about the study. But what's been fascinating for me just to understand that, yeah, actually we are underusing AI in certain ways. So even with the fitness plans or coaching or personalized financial assistance, for example, these are the stuff that's been used by men since the day one. So they most of them been using it quite open with AI, where we prefer human connections and our girlfriends and show all of these emotions and building those connections with human first. So I think it's one of the part of the reason why, and we're quite chatty, so we love human interaction more. We just prefer it this way, but we're men probably potentially using AI because of the maybe it's easier or it provides the instant answer and things like that. So that's just an interesting read. Another good one is about the fact that it's not just about the numbers, but we say with the 71% of the household mental load tasks comes to mothers. So they're spending 100 hours per week on parenting tasks, and working mothers spend at average 21 hours per week. So, and the burnout rate, and that's why I'm so passionate about moms in particular and teaching them all the AI. And I think that's the idea of the project again. It's so great because the burnout rate is 74% of working mothers say they carry mental load, and 31% concerned about the burnout, which is it's a really high percentage of this kind of like stats. That's not very encouraging. So we should be working on that. Women are projected to close the AI adoption gap. So 78% of organizations across the globe are already using AI. So there's not such thing as oh, we're still figuring this out, or we're the company we just used ChatGPT, so it's not the thing. So I've been in a few events recently on the AI adoption, and I see this great progress where companies are using AI, and they're not just using AI for the sake of it. They actually building the transformations inside of their organization. And Superhuman is like we help those organizations to succeed with AI and adopt them for the journey during the AI summit. If last year was all about, who's doing what kind of thing, this year is I've done this and I've done that. And then these are the outcomes of this AI. This worked, this didn't work. So kind of like that's pick and choose. It's not just, you checking the Copilot licenses towards your organization and hope that it might do something with it. It's actually like you're gonna implement the robust strategy across your organization to drive this AI forward and make the transformation, not just driving it. And what else is here is like a woman spends 12 and 6 hours per week just on cooking and cleaning. And for us, seems like it's not a lot, but in fact, it's quite a lot of time. And also, obviously, depends on the family situation, how many kids you have. It's very much at least this number. I'd probably say like I'm closer to 15 hours a day, 15 hours a week. And the guilt factor. So 55% of working mothers feel guilty. I would say like whoever I speak to, everyone's get the guilt feelings towards their kids, not spending enough time with them because they're working, they're hard working moms. So I guess it's just the reality, some facts about that. So feel free to share yours if you've ever came across any of the stats before. I wanted to bring this concept of Wheel of Life. So Wheel of Life, it's been, I think Tony Robbins, one of the coaches, introduced and has been first, who's been heavily talking and advocating for the Wheel of Life. But I wanted to share, and I'm sure all of us seen this in the past, but I've started using Wheel of Life a little bit differently this year. What I did initially is I just had it there. I've probably done my traction towards my kind of like where I'm at of each of the life stages of these kind of sections. And I did and forgot about it. Where now I come back to this every Sunday and asking myself, which of these AI could potentially give me back 20% of my time and energy this week. So with the finances, is there something that I could possibly automate and do something about it? Like I have this Shares account, for example, and it shows me some of the stats, and ChatGPT brings me every morning, just brings me like a fresh data from like shares insights and tells me where to invest, for example, and it makes my life so much easier when I'm reflecting back to my finances every Sunday now. It's much easier for me to understand what's happening at the moment instead of just going, because I'm getting those daily insights, right? So which is cool. Same with my spiritual journey at the moment, like sitting at 3 or at 5. Seems like I'm doing some practices, but probably I would love to do more. I'd love to go to my retreat in Bali and spend some time with my girlfriends. But would I get there? What will help me? How AI could potentially get me there? Planning up my entire trip, just booking some hotels for me and picking the best hotels in this area and all of that stuff. Health, right? So all of that could be automated, and you kind of could also ask yourself, like, which one of these needs nurturing? So if these are family stuff or parents that you could possibly, call them and have what I use at the moment with one of my calendars, kind of like invitations through the calendar, and it reminds me every Sunday to call my parents and just to kind of like do some nice things with them, and it kind of like all embedded into your calendar, which is quite cool. So I'll be showing you all of that, how I use it, but just wanted us to take a moment and appreciate the Wheel of Life as one of the top, I believe it's one of the top coaching, frameworks that's been ever exist. So I really enjoy doing that every Sunday. So in asking yourself again, how the technology could help me to up level and feel like on all 10. The idea is like getting for each of those elements in your life for like level 10. But again, what's really important to you, and maybe prioritize 2 or 3 of them best. How are we going with the time, Philippa? We got any questions, any comments? I want to get into the meet and greet of the...
Yeah, no questions have popped up yet, but everyone's loving the Wheel of Life. I've never seen sex as a segment before. I think it's been called relationships, and that was really funny to see.
Yes, actually, it's
An important aspect of life for sure.
It's been added in this one in particular, but yeah, feel free to find your own version. But I'm sure there should be. I like to do it. Maybe there's some digital version of it. Sometimes I just write it down in my notebook. But if you ever find a digital version of it, like let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get ChatGPT to do a task and prompt you, right, on a daily basis. Maybe or through voice would be fun. But yeah, let's kick on into
Let's
the
kick off.
talks.
Yeah, so we kind of get into the second part of this, where I'm so excited to bring on those AI tools for your life management, for your work management, and kind of everything in between. If you take the professional kind of setting, how I like to see this is I like to see it's so easy to get overwhelmed, right? With all of these tools that popping up pretty much every week now. What you can see is like I've just broken it down into the three buckets. And one is the task automations. So thinking of the ways on like how like a certain tasks could be automated. Like for example, this one here, like the fireflies that we use now. After each of the session, after all of these meetings, the firefly sends the automatic email to all of you, the attendees of this of your meeting, and leaves them with the key outcomes of the meeting and action items, which is cool. Email management. So email management is we obviously we marketers, we send a lot of different emails. Apart from the scheduling, AI can actually shows me what's the best time to send a certain email. For example, they know that, for example, Philippa wakes up in the morning at 6:30 a.m. and she does her yoga session after that, and maybe around 7:30 she checks her email. So somehow algorithms understand how they what's the best time to send those emails. So which is really cool. So emails, when I'm sending the emails out, there is a button nowadays in HubSpot that says send at the preferred time. And people just get the emails at the time when they check the emails, which is really cool. And I find it really fascinating, the fact that our phones and our devices know us better than ourselves. Meeting notes, yeah, as I've mentioned, like Fireflies, Otter, those notes are truly, truly helpful. Document summarization, like any sorts of like documents, and we do quite a lot of work with, say, with geotechnical engineering companies where they have quite a long, documentation, like 65-page report. And I believe the human, and all of us believe it to be the human shouldn't be doing this type of work because it's so easy to make a mistake. These reports are all compliable within the Auckland Council, so it's so important to have this, real facts in there. But obviously, human in the loop is the priority. So whoever's responsible for this report should be checking in after AI. But document summarization, probably the number one tool for me would be Perplexity. But I'll be sharing a few different tools to help you to navigate this thing. Data gathering, research. We all been using ChatGPT. We all know how the deep research works. So let's not underestimate the power of the deep research. And the level 2 is the strategic thinking, all about the strategy development. I love to use some of the tools called Manos, where it does all the strategies for you, at least the good structure, and then you can go back and forth to it and just simply use that. And then the creation and innovation of the different types of frameworks or different types of infographics, and use all of that to visually represent and show kind of your brand a bit more, especially for those who are working on their workshop development or bringing some of the client work in life. So that will be so important to use one of those tools that will allow you to speed up on that and make it more efficient. So this is my personal obsession with the tools, but I'll be showing quite a few of them throughout. Flow, I guess it's the Whisper Flow. This tool makes wonders because it creates from voice to text AI, and it turns into, from your messy speech, it turns into such a nice, profound, and really beautiful, polished writing. And I know that ChatGPT does that, but with ChatGPT, it's kind of get a bit messy with all the chats, and it's hard to find and come back to the certain chat. Would you agree? So with Whisperflow, I just adore this chat. And sometimes what I do is with Whisperflow, you kind of unlimited with your minutes, how many minutes you can have. What I do, I can sneakily, that's probably not the right way of doing it, but let me know if you're up for it. We can possibly discuss that. But you could possibly do this if you have this very interesting conversation with someone. You kind of put a Whisperflow in there, and you have like a really nice notes afterwards. Because if you use the voice chat within the chat GPT, it has some limitation, right? So like 2 or 3 minutes that you could possibly, or maybe more, but I don't know, but I know there is a limit. But with the Whisperflow, it's much easier if you do it this way. Notebook LM, I need to show you. So with this one in particular, say what you could do, remember Notebook LM, that's the tool by Google. What it does, it creates the really nice, beautiful presentations. Now, so initially, this tool was creating the audio clips, and it sounded like someone created a podcast about you or about your topic. But nowadays, it creates the actual visual representation of something that you're trying to talk about. So I went to one of these conferences, and I've realized there's a lot of insights, and I've checked them all in here, and I've realized I wanted my team to see those insights and just simply be at the same kind of be on the same page as myself. So I've shared those insights from the conferences, put some messy notes inside, and it created a really pretty nice video for me.
Consider this your official debrief. But this isn't just a recap, okay?
So
that is fantastic news for one, our presentation style. You could literally.
So it shows.
They were floored by what it creates.
Like a really nice, beautiful flow of everything that I was trying to tell them. So say we did this, but we did this wrong. We did the wrong funnel. This funnel didn't work for us. And I kind of like explained why. And
instead of demanding
what we should be doing instead. And here's the right steps to do so. So I realized if I would have created the 5-minute presentation for my team, I don't know how it will, probably I will create my Loom video or something, but in order for me to create the slides that goes together with the Loom, it's will be a few hours, right? Where all of the notes, all of these Word documents and different types of source, you can just chuck in the system, and it just creates a really nice 5-minute presentation for you. And all you can do, you can just either download or just share the link. And this person who seeing this, they will be like, awesome, I get what you mean. We don't need to catch up for another 1-hour meeting, whatever. It's all there. So kind of the less meetings you have, the better. So same applies to difference. So you can always add sources. And these sources could be like, you can add either or you can create the roadmap for yourself. So where you can see all of these different kind of mind maps where, you kind of explain in the system, or you explain in the funnel, or whatever you want to explain. And you can add different types of sources. With the sources, this could be either adding those files in, or nowadays you can add the relevant website links or YouTube videos, and it just does wonders. I'm in love with this tool. I use it daily. So another thing that I've heard from one of those moms and the early kind of early in her career marketers, and she was talking to me about the idea that she was trying to blame the entire world, saying that, I don't know, that I'm kind of been in my maternity leave for 3 years time, and it's hard for me to get back to work, and I just don't have this knowledge. And I said, I've showed her a few tools and everything. I was trying to kind of empower her to say, but I don't agree. I don't agree with the fact that there's a kind of difficulties with the knowledge. I think all the knowledge is there. It's just the fact, how would you approach your own study? What's your best way to consume the information? For me personally, I found that the notebook LM is the best source for me personally. If someone sends me the document of like a 60 pages, I would check the same into the notebook LM and just say, give me the main idea of this document, or I would go and listen when there was the audio version only. I was driving and listening my entire, like a podcast within the certain topic that I didn't understand, right? And then after the 10 minutes of listening that, I got the idea. I understood the concept. I understood some of the technical things within that, because we're all sick of saying that we're not technical, or we're not kind of, we are not something, we're not enough, comparing with the, I don't know, maybe that's my pain, but coming from male-dominated industries, like it's always something, that you kind of striving towards. So I was trying to be more technical, becoming more technical. So I had this knowledge gap, and I was just leveraging notebook llamas like crazy every morning. I wouldn't listen for any podcast. I would just listen to the podcast that's been generated by the notebook LM. And it's so cool. Convince me if there's any other better tool for learning, but for me, this is the number one for in the meantime. And your own kind of your own content. Go create the podcast about your product or something like that. So you can also present it back to your customers potentially. This could be an option. So Notion AI, and Philippa and I were talking about Notion. I feel like that's a separate session on Notion, because Notion just recently released AI agents who does absolutely wonders for you. But just really quickly, we'll show you, but I'm sure all of you seen that. So some of the habit trackers that you could possibly use using Notion. I have all my like a to-dos, my goals, like a big goals. And what I like to do, I like to spread my entire year into the 4 quarters. And within each quarter, I would set the 3 main goals for each of this quarter. This principles is called Entrepreneurship Operating System, and the book called Traction. So if you're running a business or you're in a business, I would highly, highly recommend this book that's called Traction by Gino Wickman. And it's called the principle of that you should be planning your year within your quarters, and within the quarters, there shouldn't be more than 3 goals. It's your rocks, kind of your focus to achieve within your quarter. And I've been using the same principles here within Notion, but eventually, like you can just put whatever. I forget things, and especially I forget things when one of my girlfriends recommend me something, and I forget which kind of skincare they've recommended. So I put them all here, because otherwise you can't rely on your memory, just certain things that I would add them here if I need to buy something. I would just put the links to buy those hair supplements, because why is so many hair supplements? But the eventually it's like your trip to somewhere, and our family goes to Japan next year, and we started planning our trip. And I don't know the better tool than Notion to do so. So yeah, again, convince me if there is any other better tool. But in the meantime, you can just find those different types of tools within the marketplace. But it's a beautiful, beautiful tool for you to use. Like I highly recommend you Notion to get. Perplexity, you probably heard about this quite a lot. Like it's just a search tool, but also as an assistant. Great tool. I wouldn't be stopping on that because I'm conscious of time. And there's some physical products in here as well. So Fireflies is a meeting notes. Like you can just use any of those, but Fireflies is great because it summarizes each of the meetings and actually creates the really nice, and it's not that annoying. Where some other ones, like you kind of get all of 10 different emails. Opus Pro is just as a marketer or as someone who's trying to build a personal brand. What you do here is you basically take any of your videos, or if you had a call with your customer and this call has been recorded through Zoom, you can just check in your Zoom link in here, and it creates a really nice, beautiful videos for you. So from one video, you can generate 20 other videos with the snippets of the best use of this. So Opus Pro is a go-to tool if you want to use more of this video format, and Reels and LinkedIn, kind of like those vertical videos, and leverage YouTube Shorts, which you should be leveraging because it's if you're building a personal brand, absolutely must. And just funny enough, but Alexa, I just feel so uncomfortable when she's not switched on, playing the lullabies or just doing some reminders again I just ask whatever silly question I have for Alexa and have those reminders within my Alexa. And Thermomix. Yeah, obviously not affiliated with any of those tools, but it's just Thermomix it's just less thinking about cooking. And I could probably just automate, there's a button there. It says, I want to pick this and this and this food, like 5 different dishes. And it creates the grocery list for you. And it also does within the Countdowns website. And all you have to do is just to click the link saying order, done. And this order will be delivered to you, which is really cool. Like I haven't seen anyone does that like in the past. As soon as I started implementing those, I just realized that the life is so good. Less cooking on time, less spending the time on thinking about what to cook. I think it's not the cooking time itself, it's just the thinking about what to cook is like so draining, just drains the all energy of you. I want you to interrupt me anytime. So this is the last one that I'm going to share within the professional kind of sense. And here's the list of like I would love for you to consume the slide deck in more detail after this call, and it's got all the links of this best tools. So I've picked the ones because I've been reading quite a few articles and from my deep research from other bits and pieces, like this is like go-to list of AI tools. I wouldn't say I've tested all, like 100 of those tools, but I did test quite a lot. And here's my like a short list of those tools within my space, within this certain space. So we didn't stop on here. But what makes AI work for busy moms? So I would love to maybe open the floor for these questions and see how else can we think that mom should be leveraging the technologies at this stage, apart from those tools. They're all different. But what's really important is, again, creating this ecosystem for yourself, like this robust kind of technology hub within your house, within your work life, where all of the systems will be talking to each other and they will be all connected, because otherwise you have all of these different kind of tools sitting there and they kind of not connected. And the second thing is for AI to truly understand the context of everything you're trying to do. For me personally, within the ChatGPT seems like it knows everything about me, even like a closest friend, and I'm sure same for you. But I realized with Claude, I actually get stuff done, like and get things done quicker with Claude. And the reason being is Claude just gives us so much of this structure, just so good at structuring things. And if you or if you are within the technical space, you're trying to build something or you write the code, Claude would be the only one that probably will allow you to have the full kind of like a structure of your code and help you to build up the actual product really well. So one of the initiatives that we're doing at the moment is we're building the product through Lovable, which is another great tool. And you can also create your own website using Lovable. And Claude just writes the code for you to use this the content code for the website that you've created through Lovable. So Lovable is more like it gives you the framework and the structure of the site and the design, which is really important. And then Claude creates the code to be used on this design, which is really cool. So tons of tools. I myself get sometimes overwhelmed with all of those, but I always have this, staying hungry type of statement where I'm like very much curious about those tools every day. Another thing what I wanted to leave you with is the fact that we should be all studying AI. I think we should be spending more time on learning all of these AI things. And I always find myself into this, the whole Google world. And they've created something called career planning through Google. And unfortunately, this career planning through Google isn't working in New Zealand just yet. But you can also use this link here. It's called grow.google AI Essential. And this AI Essential course through Coursera, it did wonders for me in the beginning where I was trying to kind of get my head around, and it creates a really nice structure within your head where you have an understanding of, okay, that's the brainstorming kind of idea. That's what I need to analyze and take actions on, how I would boost my productivity and all of that. So with these great modules, that's one of the essential courses that I would highly, highly recommend for you to go and explore. So yeah, Google, Amazon, AWS, OpenAI itself, it's already enough kind of information for you just to get that. Just gonna check the link in here. So this link, I'm also another kind of like couple of things from my side before we jump into the Q&A is I think we should be treating ourselves as we should be treating AI as our assistant, and we always should be in the driver's seat as opposed to AI is driving with our lives. So as human is always comes first. Our personality always comes first, and we should be treating AI as an assistant in most of the time. I kind of like this advantage that I think I have within the multi-potentialite kind of framework. There's a lot of concept that's saying that, oh, you better focus on one thing, like you better focus on your career, you better focus on one discipline within your career, and then you get better. Where I feel like we women, we think a little bit differently. Sometimes we spread across different, things, and it's actually for our brain, it's much, much easier to concentrate and see the whole picture of it and not limiting ourselves with just one thing, which we should be. Yeah, so again, open discussion for this one. And so important to leave the time for yourself, like so important to leave this one-on-one time with yourself, reflecting back to your week and thinking about the next week and thinking, what are the key things that I want to accomplish in the next week? What are the top three priorities? And I've tried to do 5 priorities a week, but it didn't work. So I'm just living with 3 at the moment. Which AI tools should support each of those priorities? How else can I automate my life? Or how else can I use the tool to allow me to do so? One new kind of experiment maybe a week. And I guess it's all starting like small, like we all allow, there's no blueprint, nothing, no one teaches us how to do things with an AI in our way, the way how we want. So it's a full exploratory territory where all of us trying to navigate and find our own way. One of the tools that worth mentioning from this list here is I got Manus, but I also got Make. Make and Zapier creates a few things together, so it works as a workflow as opposed to just a one as a separate tool, kind of. So in order for you to ask the question of how I would stay on top of everything without losing this type of kind of interaction within the tools and with my ecosystem, I would say use Zapier and use make.com in order for you to create the entire workflow builder. So I've set up the agents myself using N8N. So I did the agent that does the trend watching for me. And every morning I get the insights on what are the trendy video within my field, trendy, who posted them, here's the link. Do you want me to create some other kind of similar kind of content with similar strategy idea, yes or no, and then it does the entire Reels scenario for me. It builds like works as a scenario for me, so creates that. And another tool, just really quickly, I promised the last one, is the Relevance AI that also creates its AI agents that deliver like human quality work. That's what they say. Really cool. So yeah, definitely inviting you to go and explore this list that we have here. I guess we all started finding our own way with AI. And just like all of you, we've navigated towards our own journey. What's really important is to find your own way of working and find your own way of managing your life and your business, even the AI tools that you truly like. I'd say within this AI era, there are a lot of like scarcity that we are gonna miss out on something, or there will be someone who's better than us, I don't know, on something again. But if you would just listen yourself and be true to yourself and say, I don't need this tool because everyone's using Perplexity, it doesn't mean that I have to use the Perplexity. Like I'm fine with ChatGPT. I think that's the key, just to understand how would you use that and what's the best way. Talking about ChatGPT, I wanted to kind of give you a quick sense of how I personally use and treat ChatGPT. So when it comes to these the different types of agents, first of all, have you ever looked at the Explore GPT section? There's a lot of things out there which I found really cool. So for example, these if you click on the Explore GPT section, there's different types of kind of your different types of sections. And if you say like education, for example, how to create the better smart presentation making, or how I can use AI to do my to understand marketing or business a bit more. So these the agents that already created for you. And within the lifestyle, that's kind of like have all of these different like song makers, life coaching, all of that jazz. What's really cool is for you to actually try and see if there's something that you like. What I do, I kind of scroll through, see what I like. I'm like, okay, travel guide, that's cool, looking good. I add it to my list, start chatting. I will checking I will check in how it's all doing for me. If I like it, I will leave it. If I don't like it, I would just say hide it from the sidebar and remove, So I wonder if this did something for you like in the past and how you do it. But also it's so important to create your own project. And within this, it's kind of like gives you the sense of, and you provide enough summary and enough context for your own ChatGPT. So when you create the project, you click create the project and you add all relevant information there, such as different types of files, or different types of videos that you could do. You could possibly add this in, and then it has much better context accordingly. So within Superhuman, for example, I use this quite a lot because within the case study writer, I have like a certain format that I want this to follow. And if I'm switching back to my usual kind of chat, it wouldn't create the format. And every time the format of the case study will be different. But I want it to be a certain kind of format. So I've created GPT that does this on a certain format, which is really cool. So I would encourage you to do so. If you haven't explored this kind of a GPT section and haven't built your own, please do so. I will leave you with, funny enough, with, this guy. Quite a few of you seen his speech recently about the OpenAI as Sora 2 launch and the whole buzz around the Sora 2. So what's this platform is all about? So what OpenAI is thinking to create is create a social media platform where you will be posting just the AI generated content. You don't allow to post from your photo gallery or using the real photos, but it will be all AI generated social media platform through Sora 2, which is really, really cool and fascinating. I would say probably it's a good thing because, on Instagram, you're like, is it the fake? Is it like a fake photo or is it like a real photo? Whereas with this new platform, you'll be like, I know, and I can probably consume the information that's AI generated and kind of look cool. And it kind of will be like a black and white situation. Whereas on Instagram, you're like, we don't know if it's a real person or not. I think we are over time.
So, Gau, we have 1 minute to go.
I'm ready for the Q&A.
Cool. There's a couple of questions. I was really interested to get your perspective now that OpenAI's just launched its new Kit agent, whether that will make the likes of other agent builders such as N8N, Replit, etc., redundant. What's your perspective on the new agent that's just been dropped?
I'd say N8N has been very, very technical, like quite robust. Like it's got full layer of this development that's been done behind it. So I don't believe that the OpenAI and the new agents mod and everything, they will do a better job than the old and trusted N8N. It wouldn't happen straight away. Probably will take some time. But again, it comes back to the preference. So for me personally, like when I was talking about Claude, I truly get the best outcome from Claude when it comes to my, just doing some work on the technical research or doing some like a more profound, like a complicated stuff. I would prefer to using Claude as opposed to ChatGPT. But again, it comes down to the preference, whatever.
And Lizette was asking around, do you have any top of mind recommendations for where you would go to update LinkedIn profiles and CVs? Okay, I think Gal's just stuck a little bit. I can follow up with Gal on that one. I will be circulating as soon as possible the entire deck that has been shared today. I'll also circulate as a reference sheet all of the amazing tools that Gal shared and talked to. I'll summarize everything, ping it across to you so you guys can check it out. And definitely if there's any questions around any of the tools, then just ask on the Slack chat because we're all here to share and care and learn together.